Don't be fooled by EAFC. We're going into another year, and Ultimate Team, there's going to be a lot of similarities to what we've had in previous years, but there are some key differences. And these key differences mean that some trading methods will no longer work, but there will also still be a few trading methods that will work from day one. And in today's video, we're going to be going through them. But before we do get into the video, if you're looking to celebrate the final few weeks of FIFA 23, then there is no better place than SkyCoach. SkyCoach offers cheap, fast and reliable FIFA 23 coins so that you do not need to grind in these final days. You can buy the players you want, buy the packs you want, and pretty much do what you want. To make this even better, SkyCoach has told me that by the time EAFC does release and they have Ultimate Team coins in stock, you will be able to get EAFC coins at a fraction of a price of what it would cost if you were going to go and get FC points. And to make this even better, if you use Fnatic at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 10% discount. Link is in the description. Let's make a few things clear right from the beginning. The reason that I'm going through this video now and not waiting until the full release of EAFC is because I want you to be able to trade without relying on various different videos, because the second that a video goes live is also the moment in which everyone does the exact same thing. They try to milk that trading method and that trading method no longer works. So I want to tell you the types of methods that will be working so that the second EAFC finally releases and you get your hands on Ultimate Team, whether that is in the Ultimate Edition or you've got early access through EA Play, you can immediately hit the ground running. Another thing worth making note of, some of the trading methods that we went through this time last year as we was approaching FIFA 23 Ultimate Team will not work for EAFC. Why? Because EA have made some big changes. One of those changes is the position modifier. No longer exists. So any type of trading method which required a position modifier, moving players out of their default positions and changing them to the alternative positions where you can sell them at a much higher price, will no longer work, which sucks because they were very lucrative. So let's actually go through the methods. Firstly, we have the cheap bronze and silver methods. These will always be around and will never be taken out unless EA removes bronze and silvers, which they're probably never going to do. These types of methods are great because you don't really have to do too much. There's very little competition, and despite popular belief, these players do sell. Not so much in people trying to build bronze and silver teams, but to try and get bronze and silver players for SBCs. So you can do very simple trading methods such as just by looking at bronze players, not putting any other filters in, but just selecting bronze players and comparing the prices of each and every single player. By doing this, you'll be able to go and see some players who have price differences. They'll be listed for 150 coins on a bid, but their lowest buy now would be 500 coins. That's a good sign that you're able to go and put a 200 coin bid, win that deal because, yeah, again, there's going to be next to no competition, and then you can go and list that at 450 coins. This will allow you to go and double your coins after the 5% EA tax. And even though that's not a ridiculous amount of coins in the grand scheme of things, this is something that you would need to go and use very early on. I normally start Ultimate Team, immediately go to the objectives, complete the easy ones, which normally give about 600 coins, and I try and find deals like this. Now, the really good thing is that this example of being able to double your coins with about 200 coins down is quite common. Where it gets real nice is where you find bronze and silver players worth 1,000 coins plus and you're still able to get them within 200, 300 coins. That's when you can really start to take some big jumps up. But you don't want to do this trading method forever. Once you get to around about 5k, that is when you can start to move up to a very popular trading method on this channel that I talk about all the time. And it's because it's so easy, and in terms of barrier to entry for any player trying to get into trading, this is the one. This is bulk bidding. And bulk bidding has also been referred to mass bidding. It depends which side of YouTube you're on. I'm old school, so I've always called it bulk bidding. But with this, how I normally use it is I target a rare gold player, someone that's going to be fairly low rated. We're talking anywhere between 75 to about 82 rated. They go for about 1,000 coins, but you're able to go and get them somewhere close to their minimum. The cool thing is, what tends to happen on the release of Ultimate Team is that these players get packed so often that they do get listed onto the transfer market quite a bit. But most looking to actually buy these players for their team will just go for a buy now option because they just want to get into gameplay. That opens the door up for us traders just to place bids. You can place bids at the lowest possible price for these players, and the chances are you will win them, and you will win a lot of them every couple of seconds. The goal here is not to make a ridiculous amount of coins per player. You're only going to be making 200, 300, 400 coins dependent on the player. But because you're able to get so many of these in such a short time period, and you're able to list these and sell them relatively quickly, once you go and sell 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 of them, you're able to make thousands and tens of thousands of coins with these players. In fact, last year on FIFA 23, we exploited this so much on day one that we was able to make over 100,000 coins in profit just using this trading method alone. It's always a good one. But it will come a point in which this trading method is no longer worth using. You'll get to a point where you're buying into so many players that you're filling up your transfer list, but you cannot sell them quick enough. You'll eventually hit a bar where you can no longer go any further. Let's just say it's making 10,000 coins profit per hour. Now that's good, but if you want to speed up this process and get beyond that, this is where you'll need to start to move on. Now the types of trading methods that people used to go to at this point would be the position change, but as mentioned at the beginning, that is no longer viable. However, you could still do something, and this is with chemistry styles. Chemistry styles are still within the game. A lot of emphasis has been put on play styles, and many believe play styles would replace chemistry styles. Not the case. You can still do the same types of trading methods as what you did before, but now instead of using position modifiers, you are using chemistry styles. Now with this, the price in which you get players will be slightly different. Let's remember, chemistry styles aren't as valuable depending on what they are, but there's a lot more of them, and it will help you really try to push out there in terms of variety. If there is a player which is selling incredibly well with a chem style, but someone else has got them, you can change the chem style slightly or even change the player. Some of the best trading methods that we've been going through this year have been looking at specific groups of players. So defenders, midfielders, or attackers with relevant chem styles to their positions, you're able to focus on players within a specific league and a position and also a chemistry style. Compare them, buy the ones at the cheapest, and then list them higher. Naturally, these methods do work all year round, but there's another thing which is also worth doing at the exact same time. This is investing. Now, strictly speaking, we're going to be looking at the release of Ultimate Team with EAFC. This is the build up from the moment the Ultimate Edition, and you also get access to early access with EA Play on the 22nd, building up to the standard edition release and then what you do at that point. But the types of players you look into are more or less the same, but with one slight difference, which I will talk about. So the types of players that I always go to when I'm investing at this point are those that I know are going to increase in price. So these are team of the week players. These are any types of fodder items which will be used for SBCs, and also at the start, is anyone desirable? A good example of this is Erling Haaland last year in FIFA 23. For some reason, he was actually relatively cheap when early access was available. You was able to buy Erling Haaland anywhere between 30 to 80,000 coins. And the reason that that's such a big price difference is because on release, he was about 30,000 coins and then gradually increased during that time period. What's real crazy is that even if you bought him at 80,000 coins, which was coming towards the end of early access, people were saying that that's a terrible deal because they saw him 30,000 coins just a couple days before. But after the Ultimate Edition release, he jumped up to about 120, 130,000 coins. And then by the Standard Edition, he was up to 300,000 coins. That would have been an insane investment if you were to make it. But unfortunately, that type of investment only really works at the beginning of the year. And in this video, I can't tell you what players to look out for because, of course, I can't tell the future. But there will be players that are going to be desirable in the full release, are going to look ridiculously cheap for their overall rating and their in-game stats. It's worth buying one, storing them to your club, just in case. The other two types of investments which I did mention, which was fodder investing and also going into any type of team of the week, which I guess also counts as fodder investing. naturally works all year round every year. People will always say that it's not going to work that year, but it always ends up working that year. However, with these types of investments, you're going to have to sit on them for quite some time. It's not going to be the case if you buy into them during early access or the Ultimate Edition and for the Standard Edition to release and for them to jump up in price. You may need to wait a few extra weeks after the Standard Edition in order for you to cash in. And when you cash in, it may not be a ridiculous amount. Last year, on the release of FIFA 23, I bought into loads of Team of the Week players. I shared videos on this channel saying exactly my plan. And there were quite a few comments that said, that isn't going to work. That's not going to happen this year. But I just waited and waited and waited. By the time we got to the end of October, beginning of November, I was able to go and sell those investments for a decent amount of coins. These were Team of the Week players and players which were 83 rated plus who suddenly jumped up in price because of certain SBCs that were released around hero cards. With these ones, as said, I can't tell you when they will increase. All I do know is naturally they do increase and they are long-term investments. So you need to be patient with these. If you know that you need the coins and you're not going to be patient, then it's not worth going through. But hopefully with the trading methods that we have gone through, the very basic and simple methods that tend to always work, build up your coin balance, get over 50,000 coins, build your team, carry on trading to get even further, and then use some of those coins within investments. Just sit and hold on to them until they do increase. And it's at that point, once you have made enough coins, you can then sell them on. If you want more tips on how you can get the most out of Ultimate Team, I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button because we will be posting daily on the release, giving you absolutely everything that you need to know. If you enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend clicking the next video on screen. That video goes through the most efficient way in which you can spend your 4,600 FC points, which does mean, if done correctly, you may not need any of these trading methods because you could potentially set yourself up for a very long time. So click that and I'll be over there to guide you through absolutely everything.